If I could turn back time to when I was 70, or even 75, I would have done a few things differently, not because I'm unhappy now, but because I've learned the hard way that time doesn't wait. At 82, I've gained clarity, not just about life, but about what I didn't do when I had the chance. You might still have years ahead of you, or maybe you're already feeling the weight of time speeding up. Either way, these 7 things are what I wish I had done before I turned 80. And let me tell you, number 4, that's the one I regret the most. If you're over 60, or if you love someone who is, stay with me. These may just change the way you live your next chapter. When I was younger, maybe in my 60s or early 70s, I used to think I had all the time in the world. I'd tell myself, one day I'll write it all down, the stories, the memories, the things I've seen. But somehow, one day kept getting pushed aside. Now I'm 82. And while my memory is still mostly sharp, I find myself forgetting the little details more often. A name, a date. A moment that once felt unforgettable now floats just out of reach. And I regret it. Not because I wanted to write a book or become famous, but because I had something only I could pass down, my life. The real stories. What it was like growing up without the internet. What love felt like in the 1960s. The struggles I overcame. The values I held. The mistakes I made, and what I learned from them. So if you're watching this and still have your memories, don't wait. Start small. One memory at a time. Write about your first job, your first love, the hardest day of your life, the best laugh you ever had. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need to write a novel. You just need to be real. Because one day someone will find your words, and they'll hear your voice through them, and you will live on in their heart, in their choices, and in the stories they tell their own children. I think about my grandchildren. One day they'll want to know where they come from, what kind of woman their grandmother really was. But if I haven't written it down, who will tell them? Your story matters, even if you think it's ordinary. Because to your family, your story is a legacy, a gift, a connection. And it's not just for them, it's for you too. Writing it down gives your life a sense of meaning. It helps you reflect, forgive, and celebrate how far you've come. I wish I had started a journal decades ago, or even recorded little voice notes telling stories from my youth. Because now, there are things I want to share, but they're fading. I can't tell you how many times I said, "Not today, I'm too tired." Or maybe next weekend. It felt harmless in the moment. I thought I had more time. I thought my family would always be around, that the kids would keep calling, that the grandkids would always want to visit. But the truth is, time moves quickly, and people, especially the young ones, grow up even faster. I wish I had said yes more often. Yes to the family dinners I skipped. Yes to the phone calls I let go to voicemail. Yes to the weekend visits, even when my legs ached and my back was sore. You see, family isn't just about holidays and birthdays. It's about showing up again and again, even when you're tired, even when the energy is low. Because what seems like just another dinner becomes the memory they cherish when you're gone. So if you're watching this and you're feeling tired, I understand. But go anyway. Pick up the phone. Say yes to that lunch. Invite them over even if your house isn't spotless. Because one day, it won't be your aching body you remember. It'll be the conversations, the laughter, the hugs, and the regret of not being there. That stays longer than any back pain ever could. Because now at 82, I sit with more quiet than company. My children are busy raising their own families. My grandchildren have lives of their own. I still hear from them, but not as often as before. And I understand, I truly do. Life moves on. But I wish I had made more memories when I had the chance. I wish I had baked one more pie with my granddaughter, played one more board game with the little ones, sat and talked with my son about his job, his stress, his dreams. Sometimes I wonder if they'll remember the moments we did share. And sometimes I ache for the ones we missed. If there's one thing I underestimated in my 60s and 70s, it was how fragile the body becomes when you stop using it. Back then, I was still moving well enough. I could walk to the store, cook my meals, sweep the floor, and stretch each morning without even thinking about it. And because I could do those things, I thought I always would. But slowly, and then all at once, that started to change. The joints got stiffer, the walks got shorter. Standing in the kitchen felt like work. So I sat more. I ordered food instead of cooking. I let little pains keep me from moving. And over time, I lost strength. Not just in my body, but in my spirit. I wish I had fought harder to stay active. If you're in your 60s or 70s, let me tell you, this is your window. Don't wait until the walker becomes necessary. Don't wait until stairs are something to avoid. Don't wait until the doctor tells you what could have been prevented. Move your body. Nourish your soul. Care for your vessel like it's the only one you've got. Because it is. You don't have to do everything perfectly. Just don't ignore your health until it's no longer a choice. It's a limitation. Because once strength fades, rebuilding it is far harder than preserving it. Not running marathons. Just the little things. Daily walks, light stretching, using stairs when I could, cooking my meals instead of always relying on others. I didn't realize how much life was hidden inside those simple movements. And I wish I had paid more attention to what I put in my body. Back then, I thought a little sugar here and there or skipping meals now and then didn't matter. But it did. My body was speaking. I just wasn't listening. Now, at 82, my legs ache more than they used to. I need help more often than I like. And while I'm still grateful to be alive, I can't help but think, could I have preserved more of my independence just by taking better care of myself earlier? This one is the hardest for me to talk about. I've spent most of my life being polite, careful with my words, avoiding conflict. I thought I was protecting others, keeping the peace, not rocking the boat. But what I didn't realize until much later is that I was slowly silencing myself. There are people I love who still don't know how much they mean to me. There are people I forgave in my heart, but never told. There are people I hurt with my silence, when all they wanted was honesty. I wish I had said it. I wish I had told my daughter that I'm proud of the woman she's become. I wish I had told my husband more often how deeply I appreciated him, especially during the quiet years when we didn't say much. It's the things I didn't say. So if you're listening to this, please, don't hold it in. Tell the people in your life how much they mean to you. Say, I'm sorry. Say, I forgive you. Say, I love you, even if your voice shakes. Because once someone is gone, or once you are, no one can speak your truth for you. And if you don't want to carry that silence with you into your final years, let it go now. Speak, while you still can. I wish I had told that old friend how sorry I was before we lost touch for good. We think we'll have time. We always assume there will be another chance. But one day, the chance slips away, and you're left with words that ache inside your chest. You carry them, and they get heavier with age. And it's not just about love, it's also about truth. There were moments I should have spoken up, when I felt disrespected, when I felt forgotten, when something hurt my feelings. But instead I smiled and nodded, then cried in private. If I had told people how I really felt, I might have been misunderstood at times. But I also might have been seen more clearly, loved more deeply, understood more fully. Now, when I lie awake at night, it's not my body that aches the most, I used to say. This is my home. I'm not leaving unless they carry me out. And for a long time, that was true. My home was my sanctuary. Every photo, every drawer, every corner held a piece of my life. It was full of memories, Christmas mornings, grandkids laughing, the smell of soup on a rainy day. I thought letting go of my house would mean letting go of who I was. So I held on. I didn't want to sort through things. I didn't want to make decisions about what to keep or toss. It felt overwhelming and, honestly, emotional. But eventually, life made the decision for me. A health scare, a fall, a few missed bills. And suddenly, my children were stepping in saying, "Mom, it's time to move." I wasn't ready. But at that point, it didn't matter. If you're still in your home and still have your strength, don't wait. Start downsizing now, while your mind is clear and your heart is steady. Keep the things that tell your story. Let go of the things that no longer serve you. Make your space lighter, not because you're giving up, but because you're preparing for peace. Because there's something incredibly empowering about deciding when and how you'll let go. Do it before life does it for you. The process that followed wasn't gentle. It was rushed, emotional, and painful. My things were boxed quickly. Some were sold, some were donated without me even knowing. My home, the one I thought I'd grow old in, was suddenly someone else's. And what hurt the most? I didn't get to say goodbye on my own terms. I wish I had started earlier. I wish I had gone through each room, little by little, deciding what really mattered. I wish I had written notes on old keepsakes. This dish belonged to your great-grandmother. I wish I had given my treasures to the people I loved instead of leaving them to dig through it all under stress. And most of all, I wish I had been in control of the transition rather than being pushed through it when I was too tired to fight. There's something no one really prepares you for. How quickly the conversation about a nursing home can come up, and how unprepared you'll feel when it does. For me, it started with a few falls. Nothing major, but enough to worry my children. Then came the missed medications, a small kitchen fire, and suddenly everyone was asking the same question. Wouldn't it be safer in a care facility? And honestly, I understand why they asked. They love me. They wanted to protect me. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't done living in my own space, with my own routines. What I regret most is that I didn't explore my options sooner, before it became a decision made in panic. Because the truth is, there are alternatives, but no one talks about them. In-home care? So, if you're in your 60s or 70s, even if you feel strong now, start asking questions. Talk to your doctor, talk to your family. Make a plan that respects your independence but also prepares for what might come. The goal isn't to avoid help, it's to stay in control of how and when you receive it. Don't wait for a crisis. Don't wait until others are making choices for you. The best time to make a plan is before you need one. Because once you're in the system, once the wheels start turning, it's a lot harder to stop them. And nothing feels heavier than the weight of a decision you didn't make for yourself. A part-time caregiver just a few hours a week. Shared housing with another senior. Community programs that check in on you daily. Even simple home modifications that could have made my place safer. But I didn't ask. I didn't plan. And by the time I started looking into those choices, it was too late. My independence had already started slipping, and my confidence in managing on my own was gone. And let me tell you, moving into a nursing home when you have to feels very different than moving because you chose to. I met other residents who had the same story. We all said, "If only I had known." When I look back over my years, do you know what I remember most clearly? It's not the bills I struggled to pay. It's not the mistakes I made. It's not even the things that kept me up at night with worry. It's the laughter. The moments where I laughed so hard I cried. The silly jokes my grandchildren told. The kitchen mishaps that turned into family legends. The road trips, the holidays, the times we danced in the living room with music far too loud for our age. But I didn't laugh nearly enough. I spent so much time worrying about what people thought of me. Worrying if I'd be okay in 10 years. Worrying about health, about money, about things I couldn't control even if I tried. And the sad truth is, most of those worries never came true. Laughter is medicine. Joy is sacred. And sometimes the most rebellious, powerful thing you can do is smile in the middle of it all. They just stole joy from the days that were otherwise good. I wish I had learned sooner that joy isn't something you wait for. It's something you choose. Every day, in small ways. Savoring your morning cup of tea, calling a friend just to laugh about old times, sitting on the porch watching the birds without guilt, without hurry. Yes, life gets serious. Yes, things go wrong. But I've never met anyone who reached the end of their life and said, "I wish I had worried more." No. What we say is, "I wish I had enjoyed it while I could." So if you still have time, laugh more, even if your body aches, even if the house is a mess, even if the world feels heavy. If you've made it this far, let me tell you something from one soul to another. It's not too late. These 7 things I shared, they aren't just regrets, they're lessons. They're the soft whispers from my heart that say, if I could go back, I'd live just a little differently. But here's the truth, you still can. You can start writing your story today. You can call your family this weekend. You can take a walk, even if it's just to the mailbox. You can speak your heart while you still have breath. You can plan for your future while you're still in charge of it. And you can laugh. Not because life is perfect, but because joy is still alive inside you. Please don't wait like I did. Don't assume tomorrow will give you another chance. Do it now while it still matters. And if this message stirred something in your heart, share it. With someone you love. With someone who's struggling. With someone who might be closer to 80 than they want to admit. Because the most powerful thing we can do as we age is pass on the truth. If you found value in this video, comment below with the number that hit you the hardest. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will, because we have more wisdom to share, and I want you to be part of this journey. Thank you for spending this time with me. And remember, you're not done yet.